All right, welcome back. Now in this video, I want to deal with something everybody should know. Everybody, no matter how old or young. We need to know where on this earth can we be attacked by a dog and nothing happens to the owner, nothing happens to the dog. I want to do my part to think for the masses. Not saying that nobody is capable of thinking the way I do or we do. It's just that it's unlikely that they will. And that's the case with several people. A lot of us have ideas and a train of thought that would help the masses if they simply shared it with the masses. So I want to say it here. You got to know this. Because most people, I suspect, most people believe they're safe on a sidewalk. No, you're not. You're still on the owner's property. You need to know that. Young people need to know that. When you riding your bike, and shame again on Alabama. Haven't heard nothing from the governor, nothing. How serious this is. So hole in the wall YouTube channels like this one has to deal with this subject. Be the adults in the room. This case with Bo Clark is eye-opening because they've convinced people to look at it as a case where a young person rode their bike in a place or in an area where he shouldn't have. Rode his bike into the backyard, allegedly. And so because he was in the backyard, they're saying, oh, he was on the dog's property because, you know, the dog's owner's property, that's their property. So technically he's trespassing. The dog has a right to attack anyone within their property. You know how serious that is? Do you understand how serious it is to get everybody to be clear on that? No, because nowadays everybody's brain is fried, basically. I don't know what it is, but brains ain't working. People just not having the proper discussions after certain events. I think we all need to be clear where we could be killed or disfigured and nothing be done to the killer or disfigurer. Most of us think nobody can just come up and kill us. A dog can. A dog can. And they do. All the time. Now, they got the cape on for dogs right now. They really hate to publicize stories like this, where a 2-year-old or 4-year-old was killed, tortured to death, died painfully, not only in fear. I remember that lady said that the thought of a young person being in fear before they died makes her sad. And that is horrible. But also it was a painful death. Not only die in fear, you experience pain leading up to the death. Again, which is something they fight. They swear to never allow happen to dogs. But they put zero effort into making sure it don't happen to their own offspring. In fact, they maximize the chances that it'll happen to their own offspring. Fact. Okay? It's just not good to be a part of dog culture. Do not support this sick, weird, cringe, nasty culture. Now, this case, as you all know, with the young boy who was killed in Alabama. I'm focusing on this case because of the details. He rode his bike in the backyard. That's what they've convinced everybody to see in their mind. Oh, the terrible little kid, just like all the rest. I'm not going to give them a pass for making positive comments about kids now. When, as long as kids not being killed, they're just slandering them, lying on them, talking about how devilish and evil they are. And then when one died, oh, we love the kids so much. Shut up. You crazy lunatics. They've convinced the world to see in their mind's eye a 4-year-old on a bike leaving the sidewalk, abandoning the sidewalk. This is what they're trying to put into people's mind. This is what they have. And riding his bike into grass, not into the front yard of a neighbor, but around back in the backyard, which he had to not only ride over grass, but had to maneuver to get in the backyard. And why wasn't it closed off by a fence if the dog was securely kept in the yard? Y'all have no idea the extent to which they went through to cover this up, blame the 4-year-old, and project the dog as innocent. Nobody's really examined that yet. We're so used to, after a death, move on to the next, move on to the next. Move on. No. Because we don't expose the seriousness of it when we do it like that. I don't believe that happened at all. Because it just seemed like an odd thing. Because it's difficult. It's strenuous to ride a bike over grass, especially that long ways. These are big houses out there, big yards out there. But they want to put this in, they have put this in people's mind that he abandoned the sidewalk, drove over grass like a little mannish kid, and somehow rode his bike through this invisible fence. Because they said the dog was securely contained. The boy, I guess he rode his bike over the fence. And the dog attacked him. I don't believe that happened. I don't believe that happened. But let's say it did. Let's say the boy stayed on the sidewalk like I guess he was supposed to. Because I'm sure y'all didn't expect him to ride his bike on the street, right? Is that where y'all expect young people to ride their bikes in the street? Really? Do y'all really expect 4-year-olds? I know there are adults, you see them riding their bikes in the street. Do y'all really see 4-year-olds or expect them to ride their little bikes in the streets? No. You expect them to use the sidewalk, and we all know it. That's one of the places you can get mauled. Hello. And we're just not mindful of stuff like this. We just don't think about it. Because this is a dog worshiping society. You're still in trouble on the sidewalk. Let that sink in. Burn that into your memory. There, your kids are not safe. And I know there's a lot of parents who thought that, it's okay and safe to use the sidewalk. That's not a public park. Most people, their property extend all the way out to the road. They also own that sidewalk, the area where the sidewalk is put onto, and this patch of grass out here. They're expected to cut. That's why they cut that grass. When they cut grass, that's their land. So you're expected to walk in the sidewalk, on the sidewalk. If you want to charge the owner for not being in control of their dog, you can't hit them with that law. It don't work on them if you're on the sidewalk. Again, most of us think of that law meaning that, hey, you're not allowed to just let your dog come attack me. If I'm walking on the sidewalk, your dog run out the house and attack me, hey, you're in trouble. You are not keeping your dog under control at all times. Nope. Pay your own medical bills. Dog's not getting euthanized. And even if it does, the owner can just get another one because ain't nothing going to happen to him. Now, worship dogs. This is the dog era. So you're not safe on the sidewalk. Understand that. Matter of fact, understand that some parts of the country, some neighborhoods, really don't have sidewalks. Just keep in mind that, again, stay off people's property. Young people, especially seeing that you're usually the targets, the victims, y'all need to stay inside of your homes. That's the safest place for you. The problem is many of you have to deal with a dog even in there. But when you're attacked by the family dog, I mean, usually nothing happens still. So still the same rules apply. I mean, the laws are just very pro-dog, anti-human. And, you know, it seems to be specifically anti-young people. But the sidewalk is not safe. People's grass is not safe. We're talking about grassland, people. All the green in this neighborhood, for example, all the green that you see, that's off limits. A mutt mauls you in any of that green area, they might get away and the dog might live. Ain't nothing gonna happen. Oh, the whole country is pro-dog. It's worship dog. Dog can kill you anywhere here. Understand how much of a dog worshiping society that is. Anywhere on green area, a dog can kill you and nothing happens. If you want evidence that this is a dog worshiping society, there you go. And that's just one example. So that's important to know. Now, maybe it's a statewide thing. But I'm pretty sure they own the property that goes all the way out to the street. Now I want to show y'all something that might creep you out. I want to show y'all these people who seem like cybernetic organisms. They don't even seem like real human beings. They seem like androids or artificial intelligence, clone. They seem like a clone. And this is how most media heads come across. But these two strike me as being more so artificial and created in a lab or something because they're black males like myself. And I feel very little energy, a cultural energy here. And I'm telling y'all, these media outlets, you cannot depend on them for the truth. Check this out.
Thanks, Jillian. That attack happened on the very same day 4-year-old Bo Clark was laid to rest.
Ask yourself, does this seem like a discussion that adults would have? Things that adults would say after a tragedy like this? Don't look at it as a news segment. Times like this, when we have discussions about stuff like this, we need to just sound like adults whose number one priority is safety. Safety for young people especially.
Jillian, that attack happened on the very same day 4-year-old Bo Clark was laid to rest. This after a dog attacked him in Hartselle Monday. But is this becoming a disturbing trend? Wait 31 reporter Dimitri.
First of all, is this becoming a disturbing trend? I would have to stop you right there. What type of question is that? Already, you're making mockery of the situation. Now, this is not a direct or a personal attack at these two journalists. All journalists are the same. It's the media outlet I'm directing this towards because they write all this out and guide what the journalists are saying. What type of question is that? And this is especially a good question to the media, seeing that you guys are the ones that I get the stories from. So I know y'all aware of how often this happens. You are more well aware than anybody else. What are y'all talking about? So what are y'all up to? Making statements like this. Is this becoming a trend? Oh, y'all only been reporting on it every day, dozens of them every day for decades. This has been a disturbing trend. No, first of all, before we even get started, y'all gonna have to stop playing dumb. We gotta throw stupid out the window. We're not gonna play slow and no. Now let's continue.
But is this becoming a disturbing trend? Wait 31 reporter Demetrius Hurry is getting you answers tonight. He joins us live in studio. Demetrius.
Rob, what happened to both of these boys is disturbing to so many. Tonight, I wanted to know just how common do dog attacks turn deadly?
What? Bruh. Where your soul at, man? My man got no soul for you. He's not giving you no sense like he's affected at all. These just seem like empty capsules. They're talking, like they're doing nothing more but reading a teleprompter. This is such a tragedy on so many levels. They don't even get that deep. All right, let's continue. Goodness.
Demetrius.
Rob, what happened to both of these boys is disturbing to so many. Tonight, I wanted to know just how common do dog attacks?
That's just not convincing, man. You're supposed to make the listener feel like you feel passionately about this. That'll make you, the best journalists do. Anyways.
Rob, what happened to both of these boys is disturbing to so many. Tonight, I wanted to know just how common do dog attacks turn deadly? Tragedy for the Morgan County community as they mourn Bo Clark's death.
There were just a lot of, individual small actions that just showed how the community has come together.
Family and friends attended Clark's funeral Friday morning. A dog killed him in an attack.
Now, let me stop this. Shout out to whoever left the comment, and by now, maybe even more than one person left the comment. They addressed some of the questions I was asking. As I presented this, I think I made a couple videos where I was asking them, like, man, is this supposed to be where the killing took place? Because that's what I always thought. That they laid the balloons and flowers down at the exact spot where the victim died. And they said, no, sometimes, they will, in this case, if it was in the backyard, just put it on the street. That way passerbys be able to see it and they'll know. Fine. But I'm just saying, we don't have no footage. All these people out in these big, nice homes, they're way out in the sticks. You mean there's no cameras are generally everywhere, even still out there. No camera footage, because I'm in disbelief a little bit. I question this idea that a kid went in that backyard on a bike
in an attack.
Some weight was lifted just by seeing the outpouring of love and support and care for the Clark family and everybody involved.
Just as the community was saying goodbye to Clark, a second incident. A dog killed a 2-year-old boy. And with both of these happening in the same week, some wanted to know, how common are these attacks?
How common are these attacks? So they got me. I was interested. I thought they was doing a good thing. I'm like, okay, this is the type of reporting I was expecting, that's expected when something like this happens twice in the same week in the same state, and I think even the same part of the state, northern Alabama. But for them to ask such a question, this is not serious. It's not serious concern. They're not serious.
According,
Y'all know how often it happened. We're not gonna play dumb and waste time. You know how often it happened. Who am I talking to? The media, where I get my stories from. What are you talking about? Now again, I'm talking about the media outlet, not these journalists. They'd say that no matter who they were.
wanted to know, how common are these attacks? According to the National Canine Research Council, nearly 30% of deadly dog attacks involve children between ages 1 to 4.
Now, I applaud this. Show that. Show stuff like this. They did the right thing. Okay? But I'm just saying, you just getting started. Tip of the iceberg. You scratching the surface. Showing it. And there's a lot more statistics that can be shared. You only made this 1 minute and 40 seconds long. You ain't talking about too much. You need to talk about more. Make a 5-10 minute segment. Y'all make long segments like that for dogs.
Dog bite incidents are also much more likely to result in death when animals attack young victims.
Young victims more likely to die. We all know these statistics. But they said 30% of fatal attacks the victims are between age 1 and 4. This is my thing. This is what's so bizarre about dog culture. Those are horrible statistics. This is a horrible scenario. 30, and that's just one, again, if you look at stats, victims between, 13 and under make up at least 50, if not more. At least 50% of not more. And it just doesn't grab the public's attention at all. Doctors, nobody. It is, twiddling thumbs, whistling. All right.
As investigators in New Hope work to figure out what happened in this latest case.
Oh, we know what happened. They said the dog lifted the latch. They said the boy lifted the latch. Excuse me, what am I talking about? Y'all know that, right? I went over that with the members. We're going to have to find that. We're going to have to find that video. I'll even play the member video if I have to. But y'all saw that. They said a 3-year-old is the 3-year-old. Said he went in the backyard and lifted up this latch. And that's how the dogs got out. And then I showed videos right here on YouTube of dogs lifting these latches up themselves intentionally.
Be aware that this can happen anywhere. Way 31 spoke with a local dog trainer. She says approach any dog with caution and teach your kids to do the same. Live in studio with...
Man, the energy. Boy, the energy just, they felt robotic. They felt a little extra robotic to me on this news segment. Now, I'm not being harsh. I think somebody else did a decent job. Oh no, not this. Another media outlet, Birmingham Live. Shout out to Birmingham Live. They also did a good piece on what's going on down there in Alabama. I'm expecting some states here in the United States to make some noise. Y'all gonna look real bad. You looking bad now. When stuff like this happened in the UK or whatnot, they're doing whole 10-minute segments, 15-minute segments, whole bunch of them getting on panels. They talking about this, which is what normal people are supposed to do. UK people, they're more civilized than American people over here in the United States. They responded. They're just looking at, hey, our kids are being tortured and killed. What can we do? But they're not saying nothing. But at least they physically doing what they're supposed to do, having a discussion. Over here in the States, they're not even doing that. But no, this story showed, it surfaced a few hours ago. This one right here. Wondering why it's not playing. See it play. That's actually a video. Okay, but it's not playing now. Maybe it'll play here in a few seconds. But in this video, I don't know where this took place. There's a dog owner who lifted this dog up over a fence so that the dog could attack a cat. Lifted this big dog up over a fence so that it could attack a cat. And as the dog attacked the cat, they just stood there. Just stood there, watching the whole time. And it really sort of took the cat, or excuse me, the dog a while. It took him a while to kill. I didn't even kill it. The attack was going on for a while, and they was just standing there, just entertained. Now we know they all do this, but this was in public, like out in the open. It's getting crazy now. They're getting bold, more and more bold. See, they don't even. It's not even on YouTube yet. It is not on YouTube yet, and this raggedy player is not playing. If you get a chance here, let me share it. Be sure to check that out. It's bizarre, just the optics on this. They lift the dog up over the fence. You can see the dog sort of plop on the ground, and it immediately starts attacking the cat. And they're just standing there. It's like 2 or 3 adults twiddling their thumbs. I'm like, Lord, psychopaths. And that's the true nature of dogs. That's the true nature of many of these owners. They get off on how deadly and bloodthirsty these things are, and they try their best to pretend like they're not aware that they're bloodthirsty. Oh, I had no way to foresee this could ever happen. Stop. Every single time they say that, they're lying. And they know that's a lie that they're aware of. Yeah, I thought Birmingham Live did a very responsible and civil. I felt like a normal human being in a normal world when I saw this. This is why I don't like coming into the dog world. It's a very unusual, unnatural world. Animal attacks sparked 999 alerts. Now, that felt weird. Worst postcodes in Birmingham and West Midlands. Paramedics rush to treat 1 dog bite victim per week already this year. Okay, y'all need to fix that. These ain't bites. And they're getting real comfortable. He said, oh, dog died from a dog bite. Nah. It's torture, mutilation. Get it right. And I'm justified to say y'all should point out that this was torture and all that, seeing how allergic y'all are when dogs experience pain before death. I don't want to hear it. Now, okay, almost 1,000 postcodes paramedics rushed to aid 120 bite victims across the region over the past 3 years. Now, they're just talking about a Birmingham area. So this is good information. This is what I'm looking for. Ain't that a reasonable thing to expect on my part? I'm not being unreasonable. Like, where's y'all? What are y'all doing? Better bring some awareness to this. Already in the first 5 weeks of 2024, there's been 5 emergency alerts to dog bites across the region. They wrote animal bites. So even though they're sharing this information, you still they're still speaking in code, dog code language to protect their God. An average of 1 every week. 3 of the 500 victims were bitten in Birmingham postcodes B14, covering King's Heath and Yardley, Wood what is it? B38 covering Northfield, Long Bridge, and Frankly, and B31 covering. Okay, where's this postcodes? I want to get them. Like, what are they talking about? I guess these are I don't know what they. Maybe if you're in that area, you know where these areas are or how to find them. Postcodes. This is weird. Boy of 13 was among those rushed to hospitals. Residents in the B23 postcode of Birmingham of Erdington suffered the most from dog attacks, with 7% of the region's incidents that year taking place there. What in the world is this? Oh, you're getting graphic here. 2 more people bitten. Postcode in the world. Okay, I'm not gonna read all this, but good for y'all making a article like this. Should be helpful for the people of Alabama. Let me share a link right now. If you're watching or in the chat room, or if you're live now, you should be able to click it or at least copy it if you watch the replay. So yeah, good for them. They're getting graphic. Good. Show those unedited photos. That's what people need to see. Oh, look at this. Okay, yeah, definitely check that out. They got it all laid out here. Worst postcodes in Birmingham. B14 1, B38 1, B31 1. Y'all in those areas, you better be careful. Those worst postcodes in Birmingham. Oh, yeah, postcodes. What am I talking about? Postcodes. B23 3, another one. B33, yeah. Go over that. And what is this for? Why y'all sharing this information? So that people can practice xenophobia. Look at you. Now you're encouraging people to practice what you've officially categorized as a mental disorder. Make up your mind. Make up your mind. Don't be hypocrites. Stop being delusional. Take that stupid word out of your health, the health manual or whatever. And they do this all the time. That's literally what they're doing when they share this type of stuff. This is the same as when they share that map and have the dots showing where the dog's been determined to be dangerous. They're telling people to avoid those areas. So how in the world are you going to, at the same time, say people who avoid dogs got a mental disorder? Even if those dogs have been deemed dangerous, but it doesn't matter. You're still avoiding dogs. And really, it's stupid. If anybody would just avoid those areas on a stupid map, but will go up to other dogs, if you're that aware, you're avoiding all of them. No sign of that ain't no mental disorder. In a society like this, that's what you need to do. Okay, y'all need to smarten up and ban these worthless things. It makes me sick seeing these people act like these things are so valuable just to look at. Y'all think it's the world just to look at and rub these slimy, slippery skin, nasty mutants. They're not a pleasure to look at, see, smell. Stop it. Stop with the madness. Stop writing your article saying they're animals at the end of the day. They're animals. They're animals. No. If they were animals, they'd be just fine. So we don't complain about any of the other animals. Don't talk to us about how dogs are just animals. Y'all trying to write or blame all of their behavior on the fact that they're animals. Again, don't accept that. Don't allow these people to do that. If they're not pointing out other animals that behave like these mutants, you got to check that. Got to stop letting these people be in control of language, the narrative, train of thought. You got to control all of that. You know, the general public is not practicing that today. And another thing I was about to get into, and I'm going to still get into it. I'm just gathering more information now. And the information I gathered so far is bad. And that is what's going on in Utah. And really in all states. What's going on in Utah and what's going on in all states. I got this idea from a dog culture review here on YouTube. He's been in the chat room a few times. You should check out his channel. Brought this to my attention for the first time, and I've been looking into it. There's a lot of math to be done, a lot of things to compare. There are a lot of dog shelters in Utah. Utah, they promote themselves as like a dog haven. It's like they worship dogs. That's how they present themselves. There's 151 dog shelters and animal welfare organizations in Utah. Combined, these, look at this, Utah animal, okay, I don't know why they combine those words, but they say they employ 1,330 people. And those people earn more than 165 million in revenue each, or not the people, but I guess the organization, these shelters. They employ 1,330 people, earn more than 165 million in revenue each year, and have assets of 208 million. It's in the state of Utah alone. 151 animal dog shelters. And then you dig a little deeper. They also have like a homeless crisis that's mind-blowing. It's not an exaggeration. Homelessness is a huge problem in Utah. They say that in 1 year, in 2022, oh, look at this. 14,000 people and families with children received homeless services in Utah 2017 to 2019. So 2017, 2018, that's a 3-year period. Now divide 14,000 by 3. What is that? It's like what? 13, is it like 4,000 something? So each year it was, a little over 4,000, 4,000 and a half. I got a calculator. 14,000. Wait a minute. I got my calculator right here. Divided by 3. Yeah, 4,666 per year between 2017 and 2019. Okay? So that's 2017, 2019. 6,698 people from families with children received homeless services in Utah 2019. Families receive homeless services, yes. Homeless services. But look at this year. Again, that's 2017, 2019. They say in 2022, there were 6,400 497 people from families with children who received homeless services in Utah. So it's getting worse. It's getting worse. I mean, that's a healthy jump from 4,666. In that short a time, that's just what, a 3-year time span. Wow. What's going on over there? Ain't that crazy? You got all those homeless people and homeless children. Is obviously a problem. But they got all those dog shelters over there. How many dog shelters? 151 shelters. How many rooms those shelters got? I mean, all this money. You got 165 million just being thrown away on dogs. Assets up to 208 million. Y'all can't house 6,000 flipping kids? I mean, who lets, I don't even understand. How do kids become homeless? I can understand if their parents are homeless. Oh yeah, of course they'll be homeless. Yeah, that's crazy. You still don't let the kids be homeless though. There's nobody who will take the kids in, no family members, nothing. Because that's how I would think things would go. Okay, you're homeless, you can't pay rent. Okay, well give me the kid. I'll keep the kid. But hey, that seems unreal to me. That seems unreal to me. And if they do become homeless, you think society will have some type of safety net for kids. Like, Lord, don't y'all make it a law for parents to take care of them? So how could you let them be homeless? Now, you the adult, I mean, kid don't pay rent anyway. Adults, I can see, hey, you can work, but you don't for whatever reason. You homeless, that's on you. Okay, but wow, that's a lot. But hey, and 6,000 kids, that's not too many. They're going to instead house the dogs. And it's not just the housing. They feed these dogs a whole lot of food every day. They not only have the shelter, at least for the children who are homeless kids, who does that? When anything happens to any adult in our family, the kids will go to somebody, aunt, sister, somebody. Lord, listen, I've never had anybody live with me. But before I let some of the kids, any kid in my family, go homeless, I'm going to try to sneak them in here, Even if I have to do it officially with my landlord, I don't care. Don't let kids go homeless. But Utah, hey, this is hardcore. They're sending a message with this. Listen, they specifically got a homeless children problem. Look at the headline. This ain't just no article about homeless people. They're focusing on children too. They have a real homeless children crisis. I'm just saying, how is that possible when you got so many assets? You got the wealth, you got the money, you got the shelter, you got all that. You just instead using it for dogs. Wow. You can't make this up. You can't make it up. Y'all seen these shelters? Some of them got just immaculate buildings. Immaculate, man. They're modern, they're high tech. For dogs only. You understand? These websites are always funny too. Big dogs are the most difficult to adopt out. I wonder why. And whenever they show a bully breed, they got to put pearls on it. You know, you don't ever see them really putting stuff like that on cats or any other animal. But with the nasty looking killers, and throw some pearls on them, throw a scarf on them, a little, what is this, a handkerchief. What a con. What a con. What was that, a vest? Make them look like a service dog. They're pathetic. Pathetic, man. If you own a dog, take your dog to one of these shelters and don't adopt anymore. You want a pet? Get one of these. No excuse for y'all getting dogs when there's other options. Oh, you want your kids to grow up with a dog. It's not necessary. Get a rabbit. They'll be just fine. They don't need a pet anyway. But if you're going to get a so-called pet, you want to get a killer? Something that can kill them and you? Okay. Knock yourself out. Shout out to everybody able to join me. And I hope to see you on the next as we continue with this crusade.